Discada, come on up here and do it. Every woman needs a hype woman. Okay, ladies. Ladies, 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 ladies. Everyone, please take your seat. Yes, all that. I love it, Angela. As a woman CEO, I have learned that success doesn't come without a cost. It costs comfort, it costs clarity, it costs humility, it costs the courage to keep showing up when no one is clapping yet. But what I've also learned is the price of success is not meant to break you. It is meant to build you. It builds your discipline. It builds your resilience, and it builds the version of you that can actually carry out the vision you've been called to do. Because the truth is, you don't become successful first. You become the woman who can handle success. So today is not about titles, businesses, or accomplishments. Today is about honoring the journey, opening and owning the sacrifices, and recognizing the power it takes to choose you every day, again, again, and again. Because every woman in this room is not building something. Which direction do I need to move? She is becoming. And that is the real success. And now it is my pleasure to introduce to you all the woman who will guide you through today's program as our mistress of ceremony, my soror, Reba Hollingsworth. She is a 1, 2, 3, 4-time Emmy Award-winning TV news journalist with a 30-year career of covering stories from the courthouse to the White House. She is also an author and the creator of the public speaking program I Present. Born and raised in Texas, she began her career at KAVU TV and quickly rose to anchor roles in Texas and Virginia, including WTVR TV here in Richmond. She has also worked with Fox 5 DC, WBAL in Baltimore, the Hearst DC Bureau, and CNN News Source. Reba later returned to WTVR TV, earning not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Emmy Awards and counting, and recognition of her impactful reporting, including breast cancer awareness coverage. She has also served as an adjunct professor at Virginia Commonwealth University, is an active member of the National Association of Black Journalists in our sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Please join me in giving me a warm welcome to Reba Hollingsworth.
Thank you, girl. Thank you so much. First, I want to give a shout out to the DJ because one more verse, this would have been a whole different event. One more verse. Well, I am so honored to be here in this space with so many dynamic women and men here. And, this is Women's History Month, but, we are fierce and fabulous all year round. So I am so glad to be a part of this conversation today. And I also want to give a shout out to Mike, because personally, you give so many of us not only the microphone, but the platform to tell our stories. So many women in this room, I think you've touched all of our lives so much to give us that platform, that voice. So thank you so much. Can we give a round of applause to Mike? Well, we are ready to, I know we're on a tight schedule, get ready to kick off this conversation. And before we move on into our panel discussion, we begin with our first 2 minutes to truth segment. So each speaker will begin with the price of success as a woman CEO for me. The price of success as a woman CEO for me. So when I call your name, step over to the red mic matching my dress. The first one, Connie Home. Come on, Miss Connie. And on a personal note, Miss Connie is a big supporter of everything I do. So thank you so much, Connie. In her cute shoes.
Anxiety by anxiety by right? You got it?
The price of success as a woman CEO, for me, is a journey inspired by tropical plants. They're vibrant, resilient, and full of light, much like my 43-year and entrepreneurial journey. Buckingham Greenery roots were planted in a small New Jersey sunroom, driven by passion for healthy environments. Roots anchor a plant, and my early experience grounded me, providing stability and learning. My foundation was established in passion for healthy work environments. Um, I was I was established in passion, hard work, and investing time and energy in cultivating relationships. I was doing what I loved and loved what I was doing. As my business bloomed, so did my dreams. I built a strong team, expanded my client portfolio, and was making positive impact on the communities we served. Growth required patience, resilience, persistence, and care. Like any tropical gardener, pruning is essential for continued health. There were times I had to prune away what was not working, be it an unprofitable service area or stifling partnership. Pruning is not easy. These are difficult decisions. Letting go of the past creates space for creativity and collaboration. And today I stand here because I learned that sometimes we must release what no longer serves us to allow our new opportunities to flourish. And from pruning comes new life. I have faced seasons of uncertainty, 3 recessions, a pandemic, and a year of chaos. But embracing and adapting to the evolving landscape taught me the importance of staying true to my vision of healthy work environments. Every new growth was invigorating, reminding me that every setback can lead to a remarkable comeback. My journey in entrepreneurship mirrors the life cycle of a garden, rooted in passion, blooming through success, intentional pruning for growth, and adapting with change. Like any gardener nourishes their plants, let us all here, the women in this room and men, nurture our dreams with care, resilience, and a willingness to evolve so that we can all flourish. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Connie. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Connie. Another round of applause for Miss Connie. Thank you. Our next speaker, Jenny Kirby. Got it?
Hey, how are you? I'm good. How are you? Thank you all. Thanks for being here. Thanks. I love my king. Yes, I just love my king. Love my king. But day one. I am your day one.
I thought I was day one. I thought I was day one.
Are you put cheese on these? Every day's their day. Keep this moving. Keep it moving. Keep it. Okay. Okay. The price of success as a woman CEO. There's an old saying that watching a woman run a company can sometimes feel like watching a dog walk on its hind legs. Let you guys get that picture for a second. It's not that it can't be done. It's just that people seem surprised when it happens at all. And sometimes that still feels true. As a woman in leadership, I often walk into a room where we feel like we have to prove we belong in that room before the conversation even begins. When I started Crossroads Art Center, I wasn't trying to make a statement about being a woman CEO. I simply wanted to build something meaningful, a place where artists could show their work, their creativity could thrive, and where a community could connect with the art. But success always comes with a price. It's the long hours, the risks, and the responsibility of making decisions that affect your business, your staff, and the hundreds of artists who trust you with their work. There's another reality women business leaders understand. I'm sure everybody in this room understands. When a man is decisive, he's called strong. When a woman is equally decisive and refuses to back down, sometimes she's labeled something else. But standing your ground, advocating for your vision, and protecting the people and the mission you care about, that isn't difficult. That's not being difficult, and that's not being that's leadership. Right, yeah, that is leadership. Over the years, I've learned that leadership is not about being liked all the time. It's about persistence. It's about showing up. It's about making the hard calls and continuing forward even though the path does not seem clear at the time. Today, Crossroads has grown far beyond what I even imagined when we started, and I'm proud of the opportunities we've created for so many artists. Currently, we have about 300 artists. Wow. Oh, yeah. So yes, sometimes being a woman CEO might feel like the dog trying to walk on its hind legs. But after a while, people stop being surprised. And they start realizing you're actually the one that's leading the pack.
Jenny Kirby, thank you. Next up to the red mic, Nicole Jones.
Yeah. So, and me too. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks. The price of success as a woman CEO is remembering who you are when everything around you asks you to become something else. For me, that story starts in New York. I was raised in a place that teaches you how to move fast, speak up, and make something out of nothing. New York gave me my edge, it gave me my voice, but it also gave me a blueprint. Hustle hard, prove yourself, but don't slow down. Plot thickets. And then I left. I left everything familiar and moved to Virginia. No safety net, no established name, just purpose and knowing that I was being called into something bigger. I left that transition from the projects to politics, trademark, from organizing to leading, from behind the scenes to being seen, came with a cost. Because success didn't just ask me to grow, it asked me to shed. I had to unlearn that the idea that my worth was tied to how much I could carry was tied to how much I could carry. I had to release perfectionism, the need to get it right before I moved. I had to sit with the discomfort of being visible, of making decisions that wouldn't please everyone, of leading rooms that weren't built with me in mind. And at the same time, I was building systems, building trust, building a vision for a community that didn't just include people, but honored them, building a business. From public housing to city council, from holding space to shaping policy, from doing the work to becoming the work. And what I've learned is this: the real price of success isn't just the sacrifice, it's the responsibility. The responsibility to stay grounded in who you are, to lead with integrity when it would be easier to conform, to create space for others while still claiming space for yourself. Because success, especially as a woman, will try to convince you to shrink, to harden, and to perform. But I've also learned that I don't have to become someone else to lead. I just have to be clear enough to stay true to who I am. Thank you.
That was an amen on that one. Our next speaker, Stacey Gregory, up to the red mic.
Hey, y'all. All right. So I am so excited to be here. Success has a price, and nobody really tells you what it is until you already paid for it. For me, it wasn't just calm, it was comfort, it was being misunderstood, it was outgrowing people, habit, and sometimes even the old version of myself. There were days I doubted myself, moments I felt alone, times I wanted to quit. But here's what I realized. It wasn't a price I was losing. It was an investment I was making. I was investing in discipline. I was investing in growth. I was investing in becoming a woman my future required. Success strengthened me personally, it deepened me spiritually, and it strengthened me financially. And most importantly, it changed my children's belief in what was possible. They're watching me show up, watching me keep going, watching me build something bigger than fear. So yeah, success has a price. But on the other side of the price, a woman who is stronger, wiser, and more powerful than she has ever been. And let me tell you something, she is worth it.
She is. Yes, she is. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you to all the ladies who just shared their story and their wisdom. Part 2 of that will come after our panel discussion. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our panel facilitator. Descada Jefferson is a proud graduate of Virginia State University, where she made history as the 90th Miss Virginia State University. She has led the strategic initiatives across roles, including campaign manager, political director, program manager, consultant, and health instructor. She's bad, y'all. She also serves on the Virginia Department of Social Services Advisory Board. So please welcome Descada Jefferson.
Thank you, Rita. Thank you.
Hello and good morning, everybody. Shout out to Mike. Where's Mike? I don't even see it. Yes, Mike. Thank you. Reba, thank you for the introduction. Ladies, you all are looking lovely here today. Happy Women's History Month to us all and all the work that you do. And hello to all the men as well. This is no disrespect to you, but thank you for honoring us during this month and celebrating. I am extremely excited to introduce some of our panelists that are here today. We have an exceptional group of folks, and I'm going to hop into that because I don't want to get in trouble by Jawanda. So I'm going to follow the rules. Our first panelist is Ashley Lewis. Ashley Lewis not only is the founder and owner of The Beatbox, a Richmond-based juice bar and modern health food cafe known for its fresh juices, made-to-order smoothies, toast bowls, and a thoughtfully curated local product offerings. Since opening the first location in Carytown, Ashley has expanded The Beatbox to a second location in Churchill, with 2 additional concepts that is set to open in Richmond International Airport in 2026. Go, Ashley. So not only is Beatbox Cafe homegrown and a bar-style marketplace that will be showcased in local artisans and with the small businesses, beyond the Beatbox, Ashley is also the owner of The Melt Parlor. That is a waxing and aesthetic studio, and she wants to increase access to quality food, wellness services, and creating spaces rooted in culture, creativity, and connection. Please give it up for Ashley Lewis. And you can come take your seat up here. Thank you, Ashley. Next up, we are going to have Honesty Liller. Honesty Liller is a certified peer recovery specialist in Virginia, a best-selling author of Scattered Pink, and the chief executive officer of the McShin Foundation. She has been in recovery from a substance use disorder since May 27, 2007, and she has dedicated her life to helping others to finding their healing and their purpose. In 2025, she founded Honesty Liller Coaching, LLC, where she provided a transformational leadership coaching to women and empowering them to unlock their full potential, build confidence, and lead with authenticity. Everyone, please give it up for Honesty Liller. And congratulations on your journey. Next up, we have Jennifer Montague. Jennifer Montague serves as the president and chief operating officer of Columbia Gas of Virginia, where not only she leads the operations, regulatory and external affairs, and risk management. Do you know where our exit points are for today? It's okay, you're not at work. I'm gonna put you inside. So, thank you for that. So, she oversees the safe and reliable delivery of natural gas services to nearly 290,000 customers across the Commonwealth. That's major. Thank you, Jennifer. She brings more than 30 years of expertise in the energy industry, including senior leadership roles in customer service operations, strategy, and communications. Jennifer is deeply committed to community engagement and advancing service excellence for customers throughout the Virginia. So please welcome Jennifer Montague to the stage. You will have an answer for us when we're done, though, right? And lastly, I have the honor to welcome Shane Roberts Payton. Shane Roberts Payton is the founder, owner, and chief executive chef of Southern Kitchen, one of Richmond's most celebrated dining destinations. After more than 20 years of senior advertisement with the Executive Radio 1 station and Comcast, she left her corporate America job to pursue her culinary calling. Not only that, but she built a nationally recognized brand featured on Gordon Ramsay's 24 Hours to Hell and Back and the Food Network's Chopped. So are we coming over for dinner on Thanksgiving? Are we invited? Okay, we all heard that. Great, perfect. Last but not least, she is a dynamic business leader, a community advocate, and is passionate about creating exceptional dining services while inspiring the next generation of entrepreneurs. Everyone, please give it up for Shane Roberts Payton.
I guess for me, I'm about legacy. So legacy for me looked like my daughter's not ending up to be like I was. Legacy meant sending them to college. Legacy meant making them many entrepreneurs. Legacy meant when they looked back at me, I left something behind. So my biggest role model are my two daughters. Both of them have made sacrifices. You ever had someone make a sacrifice for you that didn't have to? So you look at your child and you go, she's making a sacrifice for my place in this world. When you bury your parent, you cry a lot, right? I just buried my father 4 days ago, right? No, all. I took real good care of my daddy, and I didn't have to, number one. I don't come from anything. I ain't go to no college, no degrees. What I have is the love of people, first and foremost. My two girls have paid it all. They borrowed money, gave up their check, went without a check, don't know where they'll get the next check from. We've been homeless, we moved, we've come around the bend, and Mommy, you can do it. Everyone in my family has paid a price for my success. And they sit quietly by and say nothing. They go to the back of the room for me. They don't get something to eat sometimes because of me. They don't have a check sometimes because of me. They can't pay their bills sometimes because of me. But they've invested in their mother. And that's a big role model, right?
Well, I would say my role model would be my grandmother. I didn't realize on the question, and so I got here. So I explained to well, guys, y'all never asked me that. What's the thing about my grandmother and the sisters? They came from Mississippi, Louisiana, to California in probably early 1960. And they bought this big, beautiful Victorian house right up the street from pulling a car, push it, you get them to go. But they were entrepreneurs. My grandmother was a school teacher. Her sister owned a hair salon in the Silver neighborhood. They owned Good Say. I wish there were varieties. I don't know where they got this money to start surviving. Being Neil Bashan, they were the only Black women for blocks and blocks and miles and miles. So it's very interesting, and I wish that I passed them that. But I guess subconsciously, those are definitely my role, because I watched them conquer great England. I had no idea how they.
That is so important. And shout out to all of the family and the ones that love and support us throughout our journey. It would be nearly impossible to accomplish the things that we have without the ones that are there telling us that we can still do it and pushing us forward when we're always looking back at the loss. So thank you, ladies, for sharing, and congrats on answering that for the first time. Our next question is, what advice would you give your younger self? I heard a ooh, that's a good question, right?
I graduated high school at 17 years old, and my father died that same summer. So I was enrolled to go to a fashion school for graphic 59, but it not only lasted like a semester. I hated school. I just wanted to make money, and I feel like everybody kind of shamed me for that because it was like I was a private school too, so like you had to go to college after private school. I didn't want to, so I feel like I would tell my younger self, you can still be successful without college.
That's right. There you go.
Well, my younger self, I was spelled one on bros, so I would have said just say no because it got me to the like that I am here today, to be honest with you. But I would have to say in early recovery, I got into recovery when I was 26 years old, and like building an organization and building a life without drugs or alcohol. I would say to myself that you're going to be able to do this, that you're going to be able to overcome, because early recovery was very hard for me. And then being a mom, and my daughter was 5 at the time, and she had a rough life until I got into McBen. So it was really just giving yourself some grace and really just breathing and focusing on one thing at a time, not trying to fix everything all at once. That's what I would have done after the drug life. Yeah.
I'll say for me, I would have told my younger self to figure out what you're really great at. So do like a self-assessment. And that means like determine what your strengths are. Yes, figure out your weaknesses, but don't spend a ton of time on those. Figure out how to capitalize on your strengths. And then the other thing I'd say is really spend time leaning into your networks and make sure that you get some good people who are mentors. So people to talk to, give you advice, steer you different directions, but also make sure you get some sponsors, some people who are willing to speak positively about you when you're not in the win, who are willing to speak your name when there are special projects or opportunities or overseas assignments or, you know, those kinds of things, because that's actually how you end up progressing to senior executive leadership, like having a sponsor, not just having a mentor. So that as a lay up a person advice.
I think for Mimi, my younger self, she was perfectly imperfect. It's hard to look back at her and imagine what I would become today, because she was the one that said no to every last thing you asked of. She stood up in the middle of the floor. She screamed when she wanted to. She told people off when she wanted to, and she's 5 years old. So her voice was always really big. I had a teacher tell me one time, "You are very loquacious, Shane." I said, "What does that mean?" I had to go home and look it up. When you talk too much. I was an honor roll student all my life. Always had A's. Always wanted to be that person that was very, 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 very smart and didn't go to college. So I would tell her, "Shane, don't change the end. The same little girl you are with that big voice and telling me what you want to tell them, that's going to mean a lot when you name something the mouth of the South one day." She was phenomenal. You know, and she's all in me call war phenomenal. And she's 50. You have my double nickels. She's 55. And then so my mother let me have that voice. Some mothers are, "Stop singing it. Don't do that, Shane." My mother said, "Let her say what she wants to go. I mean, so talk to an adult like that. I'm an adult. I'm going to say what she wants. She got a little opinion. Let her say what you want to say." Yeah. She didn't dim that little light. So, you know, shout out to Linda Roberts for letting me just be a little sassy somebody. Just be who you are. Try to change. Whatever you were at 5, it's okay to be that way at 65. Be who you are. Don't change. Why? I tell you for nobody.
Never. Say that.
Never. Ever. Ever. And I think it's safe to say that all of your younger selves are proud of you today, you know. And even in addition to that, you don't have to go to college in order to make something of yourself. It's just considered the norm. So just being able to acknowledge that you are someone with or without the degree, and it doesn't define who you actually are. And so that makes all the difference. With that being said, we do have a couple more questions for you. You're doing a phenomenal job. We can give them a little hand clap. Thank you. This is so inspiring and fruitful. Our next question is, what advice would you all give to all of the women CEOs in here today?
So I am a recovered professor, and I want to tell all the women CEO in the room that would think and say, like, you on nothing. Sometimes things won't go well. Sometimes things won't break your way. Sometimes you will be absolutely everything. You will have the right budget. You will put in place the right team. You will be all the same. Some sometimes says is but the well and but you need to be able to derive and set the pace, that's it. And if I talk about my mom earlier, but I'm probably on the fair months, it's like my used to always say, isn't it? Let's see, lightning that process there. You want to look at the crop that's like you, Tom, but it's really great that sometimes like it pulled at the pants. And so you just recognize that, or the CEO, or the woman CEO, pick yourself up, keep moving, keep breathing, keep moving, keep believing in yourself, and it'll, I think about it, get there. Yeah. There you go. Yes.
Yeah, hallelujah. I would also say, this is the great answer. I would also say, let your soul go. I struggled with that for a very long time because I didn't want to get in trouble with something messed up. And so I would rather redo it myself instead of praying someone else. So let the soul go. Now I let it go and I say, no, a lot. And yeah, you said the good I did. You go do it. So I'm glad doing that. I've been doing this a long time. I've been in addiction, saved my life from my heroin addiction almost 19 years ago, and I've been employed there for over 8 years. So I just got my own house.
No, nothing. No. I lived in the recovery house for 5 months, and then I started working there. So I just had never let them live in the housing. So, but I had my own. With no college degree, and my credit was very, very bad when I came in. I was about 800.
Don't mean trying to give me a branding card. But
And the other thing is, everything's gonna be okay, and you need to speak up for yourself, even if your lip quivers in a really. I've challenged myself. I've definitely been in situations where there have been men dominating around me. And it's hard because I'm a cup chick and my seeing this year and they know, but I'm a sensitive. I still have that little girl, the trauma, little girl inside of me. So I cry and my lip will shiver, but I'm going to stand up over the rights no matter what. And I'm going to maintain this as being a leader. So as we're a leader, don't get stuck in this is just how we've done it, and this is it. Like, may change and whip into your team because it shouldn't change and evolve so much than be letting full go and letting others have a voice because I didn't feel like I had a voice for a very long time there.
I think I let go of like comparison with opposition. I'm not of like, yeah,
The lake is already by the Eating, be that she fitting, people. What someone that's what I said to her, what do you hear out of Bravo conscious in working people who's sort of being
I think that we're good hard on ourselves when we need that everything on God and knowing us as own us and the self being the self pray. Was the wrong that they have very young.
Absolutely. The hardest part is getting up, right? I think that analogy, even when it comes to going to the gym, and shout out to Adriana Duarte in the back. She's always posting on Facebook about the workouts that she does. And the hardest part is showing up, right? So once you get there, you're able to gradually take those steps, right? Just like a staircase, it's one at a time. I don't think I've ever seen anyone take one step and and down the entire staircase, unless you're like me in middle school and just fell. So, because you weren't paying attention, right? But nonetheless, it's important to give yourself some grace, to relinquish that control, and not to be a perfectionist. Especially as women, you like to perform at a certain level, right? We like to execute to the highest level, right? But as long as you are trying, there are people that will be there to support you, like you said, your sponsor and your mentor. But just fine tuning your craft and knowing that you'll never get to a place of arrival, but it's always about progression over perfection. So thank you, ladies, for sharing that. We are down to our final 2 questions. Who's in getting something out of this? Is this good? Awesome. So our next question, this is one of my favorite ones, is how do you balance work and life? Right. I know it's a joke, right? It's like, is that a real thing? Like work-life balance, is that real? But, sounds like I should put the mic in the audience. But how do you all do work-life balance to especially avoid burnout? Because as an entrepreneur, the hours that they're endless, right? And you all have your individual families, which I've heard you mention here today. But what type of practices do you all implement on a daily basis, a weekly, a monthly basis to ensure that you are not driving a car on empty?
I just so bad with that they everybody put out. I let it go. My kind of thing that I know they be happy regardless of it ate the album or not. He does. Yeah, hard but it think about my people. Maybe I mean got so not feeling guilty, not feel good. Yeah, taking a whole day off and like yeah, I've been fun to do today. Or like I did been go like me. Ultimately vida mara or the yes something great major and it did be mara.
Renewal. For me, it's been difficult throughout the year because I'm in recovery, so I also have to like maintain my mental health and everything too. But nowadays, and I'm an entrepreneur, so I've started my own. There's just a nice and weekends. I'm doing that, building PEO thing during the day. I had children, scores, all of that. Damn. But for me, it's really important. Kind of the same as like I take mental health days. I certify Chu as well. But I have a full practice that I do every morning. I start my morning with coffee and coloring. I color every morning. I get up at 5 a.m. I'm pretty scheduled share at this point in my life and it's working for me. I color, I write, I journal, I read devotionals. And then I exercise every day, even if it's rest day. I still walk my dog with a weighted vest. So health and wellness. I've had a bunch of things happen to my body in active addiction and in recovery. So it's really important for me because it's along your plate so I can help more people and with events like that I want to. But those days of like putting my clothes, cutting it off. I've been doing that lately. Is really cutting it off and like letting it be. It's hard when you're a CEO and a mom and doing that. I don't believe in balance personally. That's it got my jam. I believe in focusing on what's fun of me at that moment because anything can happen. Walking down the streets, going to school, like anything can happen on a day-to-day basis. So I have to start my day with coffee on the lawn. But at that moment, I'm coloring, but clip my coffee, and then my dog is snoring in the chair. But I have to take care of me because if I don't take care of me, I have burnout a million times in this. When you're helping individuals with addiction, they die. It's a lot of other things that come with not just being a CEO, raise money, write grants, doing all the things. You're dealing with human being lost, so that's been very difficult and challenging and hard. But for me, like, I have to focus on my lights and do the selfish, which I don't really consider the social stability. I don't cater me. I can't be your CEO. I can't be your mommy. I wipe my dog's butt every morning. So I do every morning and afternoon. I can't wipe his hiney if I am, all over the place. So it's really important to take care of me and think at that calm on a day-to-day basis. He's a Boston Terrier. He gets spoon by. He is literally my babe.
Okay, I don't hand up. Amy, but the things that I do for myself personally, so I do yoga. I said I do yoga. Let's say
I came a trip prior. I like to travel with Simon, and as I read the sentence that I'm talking about 9%, I would say I'm only it isn't like the boss I done because God trade heading that I have a holiday like we had to be in neighboring my food. I had never burst truck, not ever. The writer doing great at cooking. She comes in. I mean, so he could do everything for the kids that I could do a sentence. Like literally he believed that it would they will be very involved in the and also it can burn the house, and that I cannot see how naturally different that makes. Just anyway, this I'm split them. So I will tell you that has actually helped a lot. That color and then get that big. Now our children are playing 24 and playing what that black bit. Sound on to me.
She's going to take a personal point of privilege. You all do not need to remarry. I think there's just going to conversation that needs to be held. We're all going to Rich, right? We're going to invite Rich to come, bring your husbands, and then we're going to add up the division of labor chart. Thank you.
I think for me, I mean, I would love to be the person to tell you it's a work-life balance. I've been rich, I've been poor, I've been up, I've been down. I've been around the world 1,000 times at 55 years old. I just got married last year, So, I've had 2 other men that abused me, mistreated me, didn't see the wealth in me. So it's been a very long ride. So I think you got to forgive yourself, right? You chose to be a CEO. You could have chose anything else. You could have went and worked for somebody and never 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, get your check and leave. Right? You could have. Let's be honest. You chose to be a CEO. You chose to be an entrepreneur. It was something in you that you said to yourself, I'm going to own something and have my own business. So when you did that, you knew you weren't going to have no work-life balance. Now you sit here trying to talk to me about work-life balance. Girl, come on now. I mean, I can't be the only one in the room to understand that. You sound all saying, I don't want any work-life balance. I'm good. I want to have everything on my plate. I don't want to sleep. I don't want to see my kids. I don't want to have no, I just want to be this person. If you want to talk real, talk to me. I will talk, and I'm not Tinkerbell here. With a little magic wand for y'all. Yeah, I don't got no work-life balance. I'm scared like y'all. I'm like, Lord, why don't I get some sleep? Whatever, I can take a vacation. Vacation, I don't know what I'm doing at the time.
You look good.
Let's be honest. Come on, we're going to have an honest talk. I can't live in dishonesty. It's just not how I live my life. Right? I want to die with the honesty on my shoulder. Yeah, I kept it real with everybody, right? Now, so I don't have any answers for that one.
That was certainly an answer.
You know, get you a psychiatrist, I'll see a therapist,
Any therapists in the room with us today? Going once, going twice. Right. And 2 things can be true at once, right? I think all of us can relate to an area of improvement that we can have in our life, similar to you saying no. It doesn't always feel good saying no, but sometimes what feels like a selfish decision is the best decision for you. Because as Liller with honesty was saying, you cannot take care of anyone else if you're not taking care of yourself. And that is the God honest truth. My sister and I always joke with each other saying, what are you going to drive your car on faith and fumes because the gas tank is empty? You know what I mean? I don't know how far you're going to go. And so it's just really important to do those things and like praying and relying on your faith or whatever practices you have. Starting your morning out and the day with the workout, it really does make you feel more productive because psychologically, you have conquered something. And when you do that, then it ripple effects because, okay, if I can go to the gym and I can work out, now I can make a to-do list and I can check those boxes off. And in addition to giving yourself some grace, right? Because we want to have these long laundry lists, and then getting everything done in 24 hours of the day. But that's also where teamwork comes in and saying, I do need help, right? As women, as you stated, we don't like to, we're a little stubborn, yeah. We don't like to ask for help, or at least admit that we need the help. And because sometimes we feel as though we can't rely on people, or that they won't get it done to our expectations, which is okay, because that's why we chose to be CEOs, because we want to see it done the way that we would like to operate and execute. But nonetheless, just ensuring that you're pouring into yourself, so that way you'll be able to pour into others, right? And making sure that you're equally yoked, and we'll find a rich if you don't already have one. So thank you, ladies, for sharing. And I do think it sounds like my unsolicited advice, but it sounds like there are some things that you do in addition to that, because you started by taking the accountability, right? And it was the ownership that you took before saying, you know, I chose this path because we did. And you knew what came with the territory once you selected the path. But you also, faith without work is dead. And despite all of the efforts that you put into it, it still worked out and you're here today. So that's balance. My last question for you all is, if you could start again, what would you do differently?
You and me. Green boy. I didn't really feel like. So now I plan, but I did in the beginning. I was a mini, and I don't like these girls. But like, yeah, definitely. Like, somebody got her in it and seeing it all the way through. But
I'm a doer, which is a good thing and a bad thing. If I'm just like go, and y'all continue there, I'm like, take it, let's do it. So, looking at getting up in a position where I can keep going, like I can feel me to respecting that. But now I plan for being in back in the
I didn't pick the nonprofit CEO. Someone did pick that for me. So in the beginning, I didn't have we were just building the plane as it were flying as, and built this awesome organization that's saving lives every day. But I am doing a do-over with starting my own business and signing up for that stuff. Signing up for that stuff because I know this is going to take me to another level of the life that I want. And I do have somewhat of a plan. I am kind of just winging it as well. But it's a life experience for me. And y'all can know, why can't I? So it's really important to remember that. It's like where I came from. Never forget being basically homeless, coming in McShem with 2 bags of clothes, and didn't have my daughter. I will never forget going to Harold with the girls, all of that. I'm a boss ass bitch, and I know that. I have Post-its on my that I look at, and one of them is those that's every single day. Because I have to constantly remind myself where the hell I've been and where I want to go.
Daily affirmations.
I'm saying for myself, I would have
Thoughts. I don't know. I got a lot of pressure when I was zoned around, like people feeling that you shouldn't like that. You don't become PG before you're 40. You're not going to make it, president. Yeah, I had a lot of that kind of pressure from the company, like from the companies that I would at. They were saying, the kind of saying that I would have, if I had year over again, I would have given myself
Permission to be a lady. Boom. Permission to come and see your own and your stay later.
And I made some trade-offs in my life. I deliberately, if I had very uncertain, I was working at a male-dominated industry. Right? I was working for Flannery. I was working for an electric company, natural gas company, and I deliberately, as you're out alignment in the field, you got to be here at 6:30 a.m. in the morning and just say, I want to be able to watch the putting best in the day, so I can't do that. So I deliberately was like the HD's customer roles. I mean, chief marketing role. Even though they were demanding, I could be home for bedtime. And I also sort of planned it out. I babbled out. But my mom, with the truth will be, is for Kaya Shitty Kenda ready and Bashik, I'll get home. There'll be dinner ready for them. Then I could spend time with them and put them in bed. And then also my husband, the company. And so we were able to make it work with that. My mom wait us to London, was when I worked for BE. So it was just having that family support, but realizing, I didn't take a DP until I was 60. I was 10 years later than what everybody has said. But having that, it's okay to be a late bloomer, and I am what I am, and I'll be very happy.
So theoretically, like give yourself permission where you are and exactly where God means for you to be at the moment and as you are. So don't put pressure on yourself. And you said it earlier, don't look at what other people are doing.
Pay attention to your path. And my grandma used to say, keep your eyes on your own project. So that is, pay attention to what we're supposed to be.
Like God perfect wisdom. So that
I now watched a lot of movies with do-overs, right? You ever seen a do-over and it turned out really bad? You're like, can I get a second chance, God? Let me go back and redo this. And then you come back, you don't have the same mama, your life, you're all screwed up. So you're like, you know the Christmas story, right? They went back and they kept going back, and he said, I'm gonna keep it the way it was. Right? I don't know, is there a do-over for your life? Right? Did one time around, let's show you, he swept up.
One time. Forget about the door. Because you can't do it all.
Live in the moment that you're in right now. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your life. Don't worry about doing anything over. Because you might do it over and it's worse. Right? I always said it about my mom. I go, we put the egg in the best little place you could put it. And she was 4. But she loved me. You got me. I love you. Right? So what if he didn't give me her? Would I be the person I am today? What if I didn't have their fathers? Would I have them? It's too much for me to think about that. Right? You do over might not make me have my beautiful children. I would be devastated. I don't even want to do it. Don't. I'm living on this moment, this chance, this opportunity. I could give myself.
Are you going to write a book next?
I don't know. People say that all. Well,
Okay, I'll let it go. This has been a wonderful, wonderful session. You all have provided so much wisdom and valuable insight. And it just means a lot to hear your perspective, your tribulations, knowing that all of us in the room can relate in some form or fashion. And I think what we all can take from today's panel discussion is, one, you have to pour into yourself. Give yourself some grace. We're not going to be the perfectionist that we are in our head, right? It's okay to relinquish the control, especially things that are outside of our control, not letting that frustrate us. Relying on one another. There's a lot of powerful people in the room, so making sure the power of networking, right? And in addition to that, finding that practice, that firm foundation, that faith that does it for you, so that way you can fill your cup and be the best that you can be. Because as you stated, Shane, there aren't any do-overs, right? Every day truly is a gift from God. That's why it's called the present, right? Why are we looking back in the past and trying to essentially cry over spilt milk? It's on the ground. I'm personally not going to get on the ground and get up. I also don't drink milk, but hey, that's just me. So I'm a vegan. Either way, not that you asked. The point is that we should cherish each moment, make the most of it, and know that regardless of where we are in our journeys, everything was destined for such a time as this, and reminding that our best days are ahead of us. We are women and men CEOs. And so let's give a round of applause to the panelists today. Thank you. And lastly, I have to shout out Philip. He said for everyone in the room today, he was talking about some lovely quotes, and he said, women not only are they're present, but they're prominent, and that really stuck with me. So thank you for encouraging the women in the room today. Thank you, everybody. Up next, we will have 2 minutes of truth.
And can we give it up for Jessica again? You did a great job. And to the ladies, thank you so much for sharing your truth and just keeping it real. And thank you for the humor. So thank you again. Can we give another round of applause to them? And I'm sure every single person in this room took some kind of nugget that when you leave out of these doors, you're in your car, in your home, something that you said that's just going to stick with us throughout the day, maybe even for days and weeks. So thank you for that, especially when Shane said, I'm not changing for anybody ever. So that touched me. That touched me dearly. So that one I remember. How did it go, Shane?
I'm not changing. Never, ever, in fact, in any kind of way.
Yeah. I will remember that. That touched me. So thank you so much. So now we're going to have our segment 2 of 2 minutes to truth. And if you remember the question, let me get back to it again. The question is the price of success as a woman CEO for me. And please welcome to the red mic, Kelly Suzo Davis. Come on, Kelly.
Fake like.
So, a price of success as a woman CEO, what does that mean to me? That means that I need to make a mindful, strategic choice every day to choose fierce focus over fear, because both of them cannot live in the same house. So, all of you repeat after me. I am purposed.
I am purposed.
I am empowered.
Empowered.
I am worthy.
Worthy.
And I am her.
Her.
I was born in Bronx, New York, to an American, to a Dominican American couple, my mom and dad. My dad employed people throughout New York for 60 years, working on the infrastructure and heating of New York City and Dominican Republic. My mom always had a side hustle. She was either shipping boxes or she was selling something on consignment.
Mhm.
That really built who I am. My entrepreneur journey started at the age of 30. During that time, I was unearthing all the things of entrepreneurship, and I realized that I was born in an entrepreneurship home. What does that mean? That means that being sassy and bossy and the youngest of 6 gave me the skills that I needed to become who I was becoming. And that is someone that at the age of 6 was doing payroll of thousands of dollars in cash. I was helping my mom label boxes and just shipping them to the Dominican Republic. But why does that matter? It matters because I need to know what I'm made of to know where I'm leading to. So add to that, I'm a military spouse of a retired major. And to my husband, he's in the back, the best. And a mom to 2 young adults. In the past 15 years, I have started and stopped my business 8 times and relocated it 5 times in 5 different states. I've innovated, I've failed, I've lost, I've cried, I've won over and over again. However, in doing that, I gave my heart. I gave my heart and it's been crushed. I invested my heart. I invested my heart in the work of being a leader and a leader's leader, to build other leaders to transform themselves to lead others better. So today, this is your moment. So take out your phones really quick because this is for you. This is not about me. Today, I'm going to challenge you to be rare. Being authentic is overrated. Be rare. Be who you are. To be rare is to be resilient. You leverage all the lessons. You're ambitious because you operate out of your superpower. You're resourceful because you use what you have. And if you don't have it, you acquire what you need. And you endure the messy middle to realize that the only person you're competing with is you. So remember, you were created as one of a kind. Some might try to imitate you, but no one can ever duplicate you. Walk in your excellence. Thank you.
Yes, Kelly. Walk in your excellence. Thank you, Kelly. Next up, Rita Ricks.
Mike, thank you for the invitation to be around these amazing women all over this room. The price of success as a woman CEO is sometimes losing yourself so quietly you don't even realize you're gone. For 17 years, my life had a daily rhythm that sustained me because every day I would sit, empty my mind in my journal, read something positive, and then listen. It kept me clear, it kept me calm, and it connected me to myself until it didn't. After COVID, my business shifted. I had to recreate my business model. And somewhere in that rebuilding, I abandoned the very thing that had sustained me all those years. I went back to doing, to producing and pushing. For 19 months, I worked day and night. And on the outside, it looked like commitment, and I said I was fine. But on the inside, I was losing me because I was disconnecting from my spirit. Wow. And then my body spoke. My blood pressure, I had never had blood pressure, 78 years old, never. My blood pressure was 207/101. And I was still planning to board a plane in 6 hours. But this time I got quiet and I heard, don't go. And I was obedient. Amen. Do that. I could stop right there. We went to the emergency room and the doctor said, even at your age, you are healthy, you are eating right, you are exercising, but you are a workaholic. You must slow down now, he said, because that is not a badge of honor. I didn't get on that plane. I spent 5 days examining, looking deep within, and coaching myself back to myself. And what I know now is this. My body wasn't failing me, it was fighting for me. Today, my nervous system is healing, and I have more time than I ever had because I am finally back in alignment with my spirit. What I know for sure is that the solution is not doing more. The solution is being in the silence. My body sat me down so my spirit could rise. And now I show women, just like every one of you, how to slow down, get quiet, and reconnect with yourself before your body has to do it for you.
Preach, preach, preach. Rita Ricks, thank you. Finally, we have Shelley Jose Brady.
Come on, Shelley.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. So anybody who knows me is not going to be surprised by this. So the price that we pay is like working endlessly and not taking care of ourselves. You all said that too when Mike said, Shelley, I want you to come do this. I said, great. What do I need to do? He said, just show up. And when everybody had their prepared things, I'm like, okay, great. So my biggest thing is probably ad-libbing it anyway. So I'm going to go from there. All right. When I was a little girl, somebody asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I said, a teacher. And they said, you're from money now, be something else. So I spent the next couple of years trying to figure out what that was. And I decided it was going to be architecture. So I went off to school to do those things. But my daddy always said, just do the work and the accolades will come. And then I had a friend, Deshauna knows, said, so when the accolades didn't come, does that mean you didn't do the work? In heart, because that's all I've done my whole life. I'm a middle child, military dependent, had a nomadic youth. I moved around everywhere. I didn't belong anywhere. And I became an enigma. No one knew me, and I didn't know me. Because remember, what did I want to be when I grew up? Kind of didn't know because somebody told me there was no money in it to be something else. Well, that's kind of been my whole career. And every time I wanted to do something, somebody said, that is not possible. You can't do it. So I turned myself sights to something that they said I could do or that needed to be done. And in fact, in my way, I had done everything I said I wanted to do. I built the first company when I was 29. It still exists to this day. But I built that company to perpetuate me, not for me to be the CEO, as it was about a different purpose. The education part, the success was that 7 companies grew out of that company because I nurtured them. I educated them. It was never about me. See, for a CEO, it's never about us. And we can lose ourselves in there. But it's about that. You know, when I look at my success, I've raised 2 beautiful, healthy, stable children into adulthood after their dad took his life 10 years ago. And running a business and running a home and raising employees and staff to grow their own businesses. Like, CEO isn't a label I've had. As a matter of fact, my label, then put on my cards as Catalyst. Any science people in here? I knew a science nerd over there. But Catalyst, when they do their job, they disappear. Yeah. So I found myself, I am a woman of certain age, and finally the gray hair. I'll be 65 this year. And one of the things I finally learned out of all of this and price of success is never give up your dreams. Never have somebody tell you you can't do it and it's not possible. And when somebody tells you all those things on your resume aren't true because you'd sound like Superwoman, guess what? We are.
Yes. Oh. Shelley, Rita, and Kelly, thank you so much for, again, sharing your wisdom again. And to all the ladies in the room, especially those who were on the panel and who shared your minute, thank you so much. You were just amazing today. And so now we want to thank our sponsors for even making all of this happen. And I'm going to call the sponsor up. You have a minute or less to share with us. And we're going to start with Miss Sharita. Miss Sharita Hayes. Come on, Sharita. Big supporter for a lot of nonprofits and businesses.
Thank you. It has been such a pleasure to be in the room with so many amazing women. So give yourselves all a hand, please. I'm inspired. I know all of you are inspired, and it is an honor and a privilege to be here to just share, Call Federal is committed to pouring into women-owned businesses and making sure that you have the resources that you need. And so I am privileged to be able to do the work that I do, to be able to learn more about the many amazing businesses here in Richmond, what you're looking to do, and how I can support. So thank you so much for Mike, an amazing, amazing job with this. Always love to support. Amazing. And a lot of you I support in here as well. So please feel free to reach out. So thank you, guys. There you go.
Thank you, Sharita. You support me, so thank you. Patricia Johnson. There she is.
Patricia. This is definitely a power room. So I'm gonna make it quick. I know I got a minute or two. So my name is Patricia Johnson. I own an insurance agency in Henrico, Virginia. Very grateful to be a part of this room and just to be in a presence with everyone, women in business. So resilience is really big to me. I opened my agency in 2021, January 2021, during a pandemic. When people was closing down businesses and cutting costs, I just jumped out with a leap of faith. I had no team lead, no manager experience, just a goal in mind. And throughout that journey, a lot had happened. January 2021, I opened. January 28th, 28 days later, my grandma passed away. That was my first close family death. 3 months after that, April, my father passed away. And I said, you know what? There's no recovering from that. And I just kept thinking to myself, why is this happening? But I had to keep going, right? You have to keep going. The business wasn't going to run itself. My team wasn't going to lead themselves. And team, that's a whole nother different topic, right? People going to come and go. And it's okay for you to understand that everyone should not be a part of your journey.
That's the biggest thing. Everyone is not going to be a part of your journey. So with all of that being said, 4 years later, you really have to think about the resilience really coming with your purpose, seeing the life I can give my family now, my team, like seeing their lives change right in front of me, and my customers, protecting them, their assets, and their family. That's the biggest thing to me. And here I am 4 years later. I was able to relocate my office, upgrade my office, and it's just been a blessing. So you keep pushing and don't stop. Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany. Is Grace Washington here? Grace is not here. But she says thank you, and she's glad to support. Yes. Adriana Duarte. This feels like one of the award shows where you have to come down the aisle. There we go. That's okay. How beautiful. Hello. Hola, everyone. Hello, my name is Adriana Duarte. I am a senior loan officer at Core Mortgage. I'm also a realtor with Kristen & Co. at EXP, and I have a radio show called Todo Latino, so I don't know if you guys have heard of it. So I was in the back. I just snuck in, sorry. I was working this morning, and I actually have to run to go show a house. So busy, and I love it. So it's so amazing to see all these wonderful, just inspiring women. It's amazing. I love it. And every day, just like Giscata said, I get up, I work out, and I never really paid attention to, I just do it for me. I post it for myself. And when I started hearing people telling me, oh my God, I love watching your posts, you motivate me. And I'm like, I don't get likes. Okay, cool. I was like, I'll take that. So just doing that to me is like amazing to inspire other women as well. So whatever you do, just keep being yourself. And I always say, post you. When you post yourself, you inspire other people without even knowing. So I think it's really awesome. And I am just very lucky to be here. Anyway, so I just want to say, if you guys ever need to buy a house, I got to promote myself. If you guys ever need to buy a house, call me. I can pre-qualify you and I can show you a house. So I can do both. I'm a one-stop shop. And don't forget, I speak Spanish, of course. Hablo español. All right. And thanks to Mike King for having me here. Thank you, everybody. Have y'all had an awesome time this afternoon? Yes, we have been fed today. So it has been my honor to be your mistress of ceremonies. I'm going to turn it over to Jawanda now. We are on track.
I love y'all. Every superwoman needs superwomen behind her, and that's my crew. So, raise your hand if you feel full. Awesome. I love it. So, without further ado, we want to extend our deepest gratitude to Mike King, who had the vision. And I want to take the time to also recognize an incredible event team behind me for the Price of Success, the Woman CEO conversation to life. They brought it with excellence and intention. And remember, Mike, that as a visionary, behind every powerful experience, your leadership shines through and your commitment to creating spaces is consistently constant, and I love you. To our phenomenal mistress of ceremony, Reba Hollingsworth, and our dynamic panel facilitator, Giscata Jefferson. Thank you for guiding the room with grace and professionalism and impact. To our incredible panelists, Ashley Lewis, Honesty Lillard, Jennifer Montague, and Shane Roberts Payton, thank you for keeping it real. Your transparency, your voices, your wisdom, and your willingness to share the real stories behind your journey. Your voices created a powerful and necessary conversation that will forever make a lasting appearance in this event. Your voices are needed. So I encourage every woman in this room to take the opportunity to allow your voice to be heard. Don't be silenced. Do not shrink. Do not dim. A special thank you to Social Flair Event Studio and Paula for hosting us so beautifully. To Miss Girlie's Catering and Helling for an amazing culinary experience. And to our PR powerhouse, Joe Oliver of Joe Explains It All, JAE Communications, for amplifying the moment. To our talented creators and production team, Joshua Lee of Man by Design, Emmanuel Posa of DB Arcade, DJ Dejion on the ones and twos. Thank you for capturing and elevating and setting the tone for the entire experience. And for bringing out the millennials in all of us. To Farrah Massenberg, thank you for your support and your presence. And to our very own Let's Do It Right events team, thank you for truly executing in excellence and delivering a phenomenal CEO experience committed to elevation only. That is CEO on purpose, committed to elevation only. This was more than an event. It was a moment and a movement and a reminder of what happens when women lead boldly together. So to every woman in this room, whether you're building something, leading something, or dreaming about what's coming next, success is not just about the title you hold. It's about the courage it took to become the woman capable of holding it. And if today reminded you of anything, let it be this. The real price of success isn't what you sacrifice, it's who you have the courage to become. So on behalf of Mike King Biz, our speakers, sponsors, partners, and our incredible event team, thank you for showing up. Thank you for supporting one another and continue to live with purpose. And thank you for continuing to support Mike King. And Mike has 1 minute on the mic.
Thank you, Joanna. You can step aside real quick. Hey, so I'd like to thank everyone for coming. For folks who know me, they realize this would not happen. This would be a hot mess if it was just me. But I'd be remiss. So my sister's a preacher. Shout out to my sister, who is, she's done a lot. And, you know, so I'm just trying to be good. But I have to get somebody up here. Two people. I got to shout out my man, Dean Francis, who is a supporter of the program, who makes a lot of this possible. And also, Rita, come real quickly. Where you at? There you are. So, see, Jawanda warned me. She did. She warned me, like, Mike, don't do it. I'm sitting there going, I got to do this. So really quickly, you need to tell folks what you do, all that. So go ahead.
Got it.
Sorry.
Hello, ladies. You look beautiful. Thank you, Mike. Listen, the price of success, that's what I prepare for because that's what I was asked to do. We are sometimes misunderstood, correct? We are often, the loneliness is unbearable sometimes as CEOs, correct? Multiple sacrifices, but we need to show up, we need to follow up, and we need to ensure that we glow up in every room that we go in. Do you understand that? You understand that. Listen, the other thing is we're connectors. We are change agents and legacy builders. My granny was my person, and she taught me how to do the banking thing. And as a result of that, that's what I do. 87% of the poverty-stricken elderly are women. We need to fix that, okay? We must fix that. So here's what I do. I come alongside women to ensure that they understand their own personal financial power so that your money can last you the rest of your life. And I love this work. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. All right, so for folks who know me, my parents would always say, my dad would say, it's not what you know. People say it's who you know. My dad said, nah, it's who knows you. When you walk in a room to bring it with you, it's people, doors open up for you. Shout out to Joanna for really making this possible. Thanks everyone for coming. Oh, I got to give a shout out to my wife. So when she saw what they did in here, she told me, Mike, you got to change your clothes. So this was the outfit right here. So shout out to her, baby. I'm on the way home. Thank you, Joanna. Here you go.